What is going on, Celtics Nation? It is another loss for the Boston Celtics today. Two losses in a row, back to back now, unfortunately. And yeah, what can you say besides no Jalen Brown, and the offense just could not get going without him. Unfortunately, the Boston Celtics fall to the Pacers 98-96. It was a really bad shooting performance from pretty much everyone all around on the team today. No Jalen, and just all problems for the Boston Celtics. I am the Parquet Poppy. This is my boy Adrian here. You can find him at NBA Swing Pass, and you're tuned into the Dynasty Proud post game podcast for Boston Sports Entertainment Network, talking about what we just saw against the Indiana Pacers. Adrian, man, how you feeling about this loss right here?
Brutal, bro. Brutal. We started off not hitting our shots. Everything just was no rhythm. Second quarter, Simons went on a little heater. Questionable decision by Joe. Joe pulled him. I mean, he was making shots. Joe pulled him, put him on the bench. I don't understand the reasoning because he was hot at that point. Yeah, I mean, it was just a brutal shooting night. We weren't hitting our threes. We came out in the second half. We were just flat, no energy. It we didn't score in like the first 5 minutes of the second half, and then towards the end, Peyton started catching a little fire, and it was just a brutal game to watch. There was no rhythm, there was no energy, there was no sense of basketball, Celtics basketball. It was just a flat performance tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you're saying is pretty much spot on. It didn't feel like the Celtics really turned up until like that last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, where it felt like they were playing in really desperation mode, trying to beat the Pacers, who were shooting pretty hot from the 3 point line tonight. We've seen the Celtics this season just giving up the 3 pointer, just letting the other teams take it. And tonight, it unfortunately bit them in the ass. And you can only let you can let teams keep shooting from the three open and keep letting them take them. But eventually, it's going to come back to bite you, and it did. It looked like the Celtics today. They played a Pacers team that they've beaten in the past multiple times, and kind of just basically took them for granted. The Pacers are not playing well at all this year, but it just felt like a game where they came in thinking that they were just gonna, play with, like I wouldn't say no effort, or it just felt like without Jalen on the court, they didn't have that tone setter, to get the scoring out spark for the team. And yeah, it came back to bite them. The Pacers are a team 1 year, a season removed from the NBA Finals, Game 7. Potentially could have won it if Halliburton doesn't get hurt. And they have had a high scoring offense in the past couple seasons. And to think that, leaving them open this game, even though they're having a down season, um, kind of a terrible, terrible defensive game plan, in my opinion. I feel like this is the one game where you have been letting the, other teams try to outshoot you from three, and make it, and you live with those results. But this is a team that, you give them the space, you let them take the shot, they can hurt you. And unfortunately for the Celtics, it hurt them today. Would have loved to see a little bit more pressure on the perimeter, but this is the way they've been playing, for about a month now. And unfortunately, it got them. The Pacers were shooting hot, and the Celtics just, they thought that their threes would go in, and play a little bit of defense, and it bit them. So props to Indiana, props to their fans for uh, helping out the team, giving them the energy to come up in the clutch right there with that clutch bucket from Siakam to seal the win. And the Celtics start their road trip now with a loss, heading into Miami in about 3 days from now. Um, I'm sure the Celtics were were probably also looking at Miami coming up, and basically saying, "Get us out of Indiana, put us on a plane. I want to go chill on South Beach, relax for a couple days, and play Miami. It pretty much felt like that as far as the mood and how they were playing on that court tonight.
Yeah, they were totally flat. No energy, no effort. They played down to their competition. I think
Hmm.
that today was just a load management game for Jalen. I doubt he was really injured that he couldn't have played, but um yeah, they took the opposition for granted and it comes back and haunts you. You gotta
Hmm.
play to your opposition. I mean, teams like this, you can't lose these types of games. I mean, you gotta beat the bottom dwellers of the division or the conference.
Facts.
You can't afford to lose these games.
Facts. And they have Aaron Neesmith coming back into this, for the Pacers in this game, and he's going to provide the defensive energy. He's going to get on the Celtics every time Aaron Neesmith plays against the Celtics. He brings the intensity, and did not feel like we saw any intensity today from the Boston Celtics. I'm sorry to say, it just did not feel like a game where. Um, I don't know. It just didn't feel like a normal Celtics game of just the effort that we're used to seeing. It just felt like no Jalen. All right, this is a team that we've beaten plenty of times in the past. We're just gonna play, but they didn't play hard enough. The better team won today for sure. Unfortunately to say, because they are a bottom dweller like you're saying, and that's just the way the cookie crumbled tonight, and this is now the second game in a row where the Celtics have failed to score 100 points. Um, we've had the highs, the lows, the peaks and valleys of this season so far. Just feels like right now we're in a little bit of a valley, and we'll see what happens in Miami. Like you said, I'm sure Jalen Brown's coming back. It's had to have been a more of a load managing type of night for him to sit, because um the Celtics have played a lot of games in the
Yeah.
past week. So Jalen Brown, being the leader, the forefront, he's driving the most on the team. And I mean, he absolutely got you know destroyed the last game too, if we're being honest,
Yeah.
with the lack of foul calls that he received last game. I mean, he was just getting beat up. Much deserved night from him, even though they took that loss last game as well. But um, I 100% think that going into Miami, the Celtics are going to be ready to play. I think this was a game that will, shake things up, kind of give them like a little bit of a wake up call, saying like, hey, this game right now we've lost two in a row. It's been a while since they've lost three in a row. I think the last time I can remember was just to start the season. If I'm pretty sure that was the only three loss streak, and it was the 0-3 start to the season. So I don't think the Celtics want to find themselves there again, because if they do, the media is going to start getting on them, the national media, the Boston sports media of, is this team really as good as we've been hyping them up to be? I believe
Mhm.
that they are still a good team. I still believe that they're a contender. But when they lose to a team like the Indiana Pacers this year, it will spark a little questions as far as, will these guys get it together for the next game? I think they will. Having Jalen back will be a tremendous help as far as the scoring goes, but brutal night. Brutal decision making in that fourth quarter for the Celtics, which ultimately led to their demise. And credit to them for fighting back and getting back into it. They were
Yeah.
down by, what was it, 10 points in that fourth quarter, or 8 or 10, and they still found a way to claw back, get into it, tie it up. But the Siakam dagger was just absolutely brutal. I didn't understand. I mean, I did not understand the what the play call was for the final shot at the end of the game there. This is this. I mean, this is
So
going back to Joe Mazzulla, and his, out of timeout plays, trying to set up for a win or a tie. And I still get baffled by some of the play calls and the decisions of the shot attempts that he wants in those situations. So
yeah.
just not a good game all around. And we just chalk it up. We take the L, take it on the chin, and move on to the next one. And that's just what we got to do.
Yeah, we go on to Miami and hopefully a better performance from 1 to 9, whatever the rotation is. Baylor Scheinman, he started tonight. He gave us good defense, good energy. Didn't really score. You need scoring. I mean, if you're gonna beat the lineup, you have to score the ball. His stroke is good enough where he's got to be a little more consistent. He's just everything's off, just a little like to the left, to the right. Nothing's dead center when he shoots,
Hmm.
but he gives you the defense and the energy. And I just prefer putting someone in who's capable of scoring a little bit more. Hugo at this point can score a little bit more effortlessly, and nothing's really forced. Whether it's transition, rebounding, or offensive rebounds, or whatever, he's gonna get
Hmm.
his points that way. And Shireman, love the energy, love the hustle, but you just got to put up some points.
Yeah, I would have much rather had Jordan Walsh starting that game over Shireman. Yeah, I don't know how Shireman ended up earning the starting spot in this lineup for this game. It's kind of shocking to me that was this his first start of the year.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just not sure how he gets the nod over Jordan Walsh, who I think with his time on the team, what he showed at the beginning of this year, getting inserted into the starting lineup, why you don't go with him for this game, because both of those guys are really going to give you the pretty much the same kind of shooting, to be
Yeah.
honest. But um, would have much rather had Jordan Walsh in there, because who was starting? Let me see who was starting for the Pacers today. So they had Furphy, Neesmith. I mean, I would have much rather seen him guarding Pascal Siakam early to start the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, just really weird game. When you don't have your best player on the team out, this looks like a game for a team that's missing their best player. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it is what it is. We'll try to get the next one. But yeah, I was really, really disappointed with the shot making and just the lack of execution at the end of the game. D White had some really bad turnovers at the end that towards the end of that fourth quarter where the Celtics were about within like 2 points and he's driving down and turns it over, driving to the hoop instead of trying to take the layup. He turns it over, uh,
Mhm.
and it puts Indiana back on like another like little 8-0 run, 7-0 run right there, to put them back almost like 10, I believe it was. And the Celtics had to battle back again after that. If that doesn't happen, if D White just makes the play, goes for the shot, maybe draws a foul right there.
Yeah.
The Celtics, get to the line, tie or take the lead, and it's probably a whole different ball game. Momentum swings in your favor right there, but the turnover absolutely swung the favor and the pendulum and the momentum all the way into Indiana's favor, and ultimately that's what ended up killing you. You had to claw back from a double digit deficit in the fourth. You tied it up at the end, but ultimately it wasn't enough because you gave up the points and on the
Yeah.
last possession, 6 seconds left in the game. Joe Mazzulla not really ever knowing what he's gonna call coming out of the timeout for a game winning bucket, or potential tying bucket, and unfortunately, yeah, again, just not a good look. I just did not like the shot at the end. Sure, sure, if it's, I don't know. I didn't agree with it. I would have rather tried to get two, go to overtime, but
Yeah.
like I said, it looked like the Celtics wanted to get out of there and just just head on over to Miami and start enjoying the South Beach vibes and everything. So
Yeah.
disappointing, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score. Um, And let's just see exactly what happened with the Celtics today as far as shooting. So Sam Hauser, 33 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. Sam Hauser makes one more shot. Totally different game. It's a win for the Celtics. Just brutal, man. But I mean, he pulled down 8 boards to go with those 8 points. But yeah, we need more from Sam there in the starting lineup when no one else was making nothing. Just two more shots. So it's a completely different game from him.
Yeah.
Namish Keita, another pretty decent game today. 15 points, 7 of 9 from the field. Um, a couple of missed free throws right there too that to potentially tie up the game as well. So there's a lot of ways that the Celtics could have won this game today, and unfortunately, nothing really ever fell in their favor in this game. A couple assists from Nemish, 3 turnovers, a couple of steals and a block. He was a -12 on the team though, so team worst. So that kind of sucks for him. Derek White, 36 minutes, 18 points, just 7 of 21 from the field today and 2 of 9 from three. Yikes. Yeah, just yikes. Just some shots that he was taking, man. I was just questioning like the decision making. I get trying to be aggressive and stuff, but there were some times where it was just like, D White, man, like relax, pull it back a little bit, look for something. There was some passes that D White could have made as well, down to Jordan Walsh in the paint, when Jordan would be cutting or be open down there in the paint. I saw a couple of times where D White was coming off the screen, Jordan's going down the cutting down the lane, and D White just doesn't. He looks at him, but I don't know if he just like didn't feel comfortable with the pass or whatever, but would have liked to see D White distribute it a little bit more than the 5 assists that he got today. But you had Peyton Pritchard there to help out with 8 assists of his own. No blocks for D White today, no steals, and 4 turnovers. So just not a good game from him today. He was just a +1, but felt like it could have been worse for him. But it just wasn't a good shooting night for D White. Same with Peyton Pritchard, 10 of 22 from the field, 3 of 7 from three. Give you only 23 points, 8 assists, a couple of steals. But yeah, man, another night where Pritchard's taking the shot. You think, okay, this is gonna go in, and it just doesn't. Which sucks for him because this is a team where people have said, hey, he's a low leverage kind of player. But we played a team tonight that wasn't that great, that isn't that great on paper, on their what their record is showing. You would expect Payne Pritchard to have a standout night. I mean, 23 points. He was the highest scoring shooter on the team. But yeah, there's just a lot of them that could have gone in that didn't. Just not a good shooting night. Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, there's really no way to analyze this game besides saying no one could really hit anything. So
yeah, when you come out flat, no energy. The thing was, nothing was in rhythm. I mean, everything was like a hesitation, a clutch, double clutch. Even that D White shot at the end, nothing was smooth. Nothing was in the flow of the offense. Yeah, it's just like the other night you watched them play. Everything was clicking. Everything was pass, pass, shoot. Everything was in rhythm. Everything was so you could tell the first couple minutes game how they were going to play. This game, you could tell right from the beginning it was just going to be a flat performance.
Yeah.
And you hope they would sort of snap out of it at some point in the game, but they never did. So,
yeah, man. And then like we already talked about Baylor Shireman. He was just there. Excuse me. 2 points tonight, 0-3 from the field, 0-2 from three, made a couple of free throws. That was it. But yeah, you need scoring. Anthony Simons gave you 16 off the bench today. 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 7 from three. But yeah, just the 3-point shooting just wasn't good tonight. Celtics shot 9 of 35 from three today, so 26%, and then they were 40 for 88 on the field in general, and they were so that's 45%. The two free throws that the Celtics missed in the game are potential game tying free throws that go into overtime. Unfortunately, Nemish missed them when it mattered. And that's your game, man. That's your box score. Joe Mazzulla going with a 9-man rotation tonight compared to the Indiana Pacers, who threw out 11 players tonight on the court.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, so they were really relying on their bench to kind of like uh help them with a scoring output because they scored 11, 16, 21, 26, and then what was it, 34 points off the bench today for the Indiana Pacers. And the Celtics had 16, 18, yeah, about like 28 points or something like that. So I mean, would have been nice to see Amari Williams get some floor time after he's been doing really, really well out there in with the main Celtics, but brought up but a DNP, unfortunately. And then you got Harper Jr., Shulga. Those guys probably weren't going to see the court. Boucher wasn't going to really see the court. I feel like this would have been a really good night for Amari Williams to, kind of like showcase what he's been doing down there in Maine against a team that was 8 and 31 coming into the game, and now 9 for 31 on the season, 3 games in a win streak for the Pacers. Would have been nice to see a little bit more from Amari, but we don't make that decision. That's unfortunately how it went for the Celtics tonight. Especially being short-handed without Jaylen Brown, like throw him on the court, man. See what he can do. See what he can provide for you when the Celtics weren't getting anything on the 3-point line, right? So, yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah,
Joe couldn't find that one move that could sort of spark the team. There was just no answer to getting the tempo up or the energy up. It was just a flat performance from everyone.
yeah.
And there was nothing he could probably do. He probably wanted to tinker, but there was no tinkering to this game tonight.
hmm Yeah, I mean, you gotta save maybe some of your bench guys for the Miami trip. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, man. This was just a not really to much to talk about kind of game, unfortunately. I'm just yeah, not it just sucks. Would have loved to keep the get a win after the Patriots win last night, which was
Mm,
a
good
um
win.
great game. Yeah, good win for sure. That Drake May throw, man, that dot that he got over the defender,
Oh,
right
finger.
into the dude, right in, and then right into the bread basket of our boy Hunter Henry right there.
Yeah.
Man, it was just like nice to see, like, hey, like even though Drake wasn't having like the best game, it was nice to see that when he needed to make the play, he made the play. He got those first game jitters out the way, fumbled a couple times, and second year quarterback getting his first playoff win. Hey man, that's a success. No matter how the score looked, how how he played, he got a win. That's all that matters. Credit to the
Yeah.
defense too for helping him out when they've been pretty bad some stretches of this year. So man, just a lockdown playoff defensive win right there, and
Yeah.
um, great to have everyone healthy on the defense right at the right time, right before the playoffs, and some guys back on the offense, even though that left side of the offensive line was just getting absolutely dragged all game. They were
Yeah.
getting, yeah, it was still a good game though. And now I'm just like watching this 7-6 game right now between the Houston Texans and the Steelers.
Close game.
Yeah, it is a close game. The Steelers, man, they're out there. They're hitting dudes, man. They are playing aggressive. If Houston ends up coming to Foxborough, they're gonna have some guys that are dinged up because the
Mm.
Steelers are hitting them hard tonight.
Oh no. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, wouldn't mind playing the Steelers either, though.
Yeah, I just worry if we played the Texans, that left side of the line, he's like Campbell was getting pushed right into Drake May's lap. Mac
Yeah.
was just playing with him like a little boy, and that's not a good. I mean, it's that I guess it's the bull rush that Campbell's having problems with,
Hmm.
you know, little twists up front. But he did not have a great game yesterday, and hopefully he can come back and
He
have a better
didn't.
one.
He
Depending,
didn't. He's a rookie. He's a rookie, right? And this is also Drake May's first playoff game as well. I'm sure they're gonna watch tape. They're gonna learn from it. They're gonna. I think they'll have a better game. I mean, that was one of the worst games the Patriots played this year, and they still won.
yeah,
They still got through it. They beat one of the top defenses in the NFL after all the fraudulent schedule merchant allegations, and they did that. They held Justin Herbert to 3 points, man. This guy is
yeah,
still trying to find his first playoff win, 3 times now in the playoffs that he's been in. And Drake May, his first game, he gets the dub and he's going on another round. So uh
yeah.
really, really exciting stuff for the Patriots, man. So excited for the future of that team.
Yeah, they're looking good. That defense could have put Herbert in a body bag. They destroyed him.
They
That
destroyed him,
last
man.
hit by Milton Williams, they destroyed him all game. He kept getting up though. I give the kid
It
credit. He kept getting
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Milton Williams is absolutely worth every single dollar that the Patriots paid him in the offseason. And the Patriots got more money to work with this offseason. AJ Brown, he ain't too happy over there on the Eagles. Could you imagine AJ Brown with Drake May, with a quarterback with his his caliber of completion percentage getting it to him? I mean, man, he would do really well in this Mike Vrabel system, especially with that man McDaniels. So um, the Patriots' future is looking bright because the fact that we've made it this far in this season after the previous 2 seasons of just whatever the hell that was,
Yeah,
um, for them to be here in this position and then primed for a potential like explosive offseason coming up right now too. I mean, you got the whole league on notice. Everybody in the NFL is watching Drake May. They're looking at that completion percentage, and if you think that they wouldn't want to be a part of that, you're crazy. You're
yeah,
crazy to think that the Patriots right now are not going to be a target destination for people that for players that want to win a chip with an organization that's proved they can win 6 of them. And now you have your quarterback of the future. Man, it is looking bright for us. Robert Kraft, man. Props,
wonderful.
man.
Yeah,
Props to Robert Kraft for being able to swallow his ego on the Gerard Mayo hire, the canning of Bill Belichick, and to come back and put this team back in a position with Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, and Drake May. I mean, that's an owner right there who understands that Patriot fans want to be the best team ever,
yeah,
as the best organization ever. We want that 7th ring, man. We want to be the first to 7.
yeah. They're
So
well on
yeah,
their way. I mean, well ahead of plan. I mean, schedule. I mean, this is their first year with Vrabel, the whole system. You know, this wasn't expected. They were going to be a good team this year, but this was totally unexpected at this point.
totally, totally unexpected.
Yeah,
Um, But yeah, man, it's looking good. It's looking good for the Patriots. And when Jason Tatum comes back, it'll be good for the Celtics as well. That's my little transition right there, talking about the success of the Patriots, translating and turning it into the success of the Celtics, which they will be getting a four-time All NBA first team player coming back, one of their best rebounders on the team, one of their best playmakers, ball handlers, anything you name it, Tatum can do it. And um, a game like today, showing how missing Jalen Brown can hurt this team. If he ended up actually getting hurt, um, you know, if we don't think he's hurt, but if he ended up getting hurt for a big
Mhm.
chunk of the season, I mean, you could see the Celtics definitely falling down in the standings, um, because Jalen Brown is doing just enough to keep the Celtics competitive and up there in the standings. Um, so with Jason Tatum coming back, it helps the team out tremendously. So, um, we got that to look forward to. A game like today, hey, it happens. You're not going to make every shot every game. You're not going to score 120 to 140 every game. It's going to happen where it averages out. You have your highs, your lows, like we said, and you just take it game by game. And as disappointing as it was, hey, the Pacers, they've they've been comp with us, you know, over these like past 3 years now. They have a squad that matches up nicely with the Celtics, and they can easily always squeak a win away from the Celtics. So tip your cap to Indiana. They're not bums. It's just they just have not had the season with that they were expecting. I mean, you look at like the Celtics, and they have Jalen Brown to carry the team with Jason Tatum being hurt. The Indiana Pacers do not have a player like that at all. Behind
Yeah.
a Tyrese Halliburton that can do what he does to help to set them up in position to win. I mean, he's an amazing ball distributor. His shot making isn't elite, but he can make some freaking shots when he needs to make them, right? Like we've seen it in the playoffs. The guy is a killer. He's their best player, and they don't have the 1A 1B like how the Celtics do. Um, so Celtics missing their 1A and 1B in this game, and then the Pacers missing their 1A. It makes it a completely even matchup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, um, you know, Peyton Pritchard and Derek White aren't the playmakers like that Tatum can be, right? Because Jason Tatum draws so much gravity to him when he's on that court that it sets other guys up to be able to play make. But when you're when you're the only when you're like the playmaker that the teams are going to attack, and play at you, like play defense aggressively on you, it makes your job way harder than it needs to be. And you know the Celtics, they after round have found out tonight. So that's what it came down to. They after round found out, and it is what it is. Move on to Miami, and
Yeah.
let's try to get another dump. So
Yeah. On to Miami, on to South Beach, and try to get that win, get back on the winning side of things, and play with a little more energy. Hopefully, JB's back, and we will get
yeah,
better performance because then everyone falls into their proper slots.
yeah,
These guys won't be trying to play out of position, try to be the alpha when they're not. So,
right, right. Yeah. Hopefully JB is back. I hope it isn't anything that is going to be a lingering issue. If he does sit next game, I will be very very surprised. And if he does sit 2 games in a row, I think it started this road trip. I think we might need to start, raising some red flags of concern about where the team can end up in about, depending on the severity of the injury, where he could be back, when he can be back, and where the Celtics will fall during that time that he's, relegated to the bench for injury. But yeah, man. Other than that, that's all I got to really say about this game. I'm gonna go watch this Steelers and Houston matchup to see who our opponent is going to be next Sunday for the Patriots. If you tuned in tonight, appreciate it. It's always a little bit tough. I understand if people, whenever the Celtics lose, they just want to turn off the TV because they're upset at the performance that they just saw, and just go and writhe in misery. And but it's nice to, if you're tuned in, to come here, listen to us talk about the game, kind of like explain and talk away, our feelings about how we felt. And, if you're with us and you're ready to move on to the next game with us, like how we are, that's it. We dust our hands off and move on to the next. So that's what the Celtics are going to do also. And we'll see if they get that win in Miami. I 100% that they're going to play better, because this game should be a wake up call to them. Other than that, Adrian, you got anything else, my man?
I'm good. I'm just ready to tune into this football game, see who we're gonna play.
I feel you, man. We got 1 minute left in the third. It is still 7-6. Houston's in the lead still, and looks like did they just turn it over? It looked like a snap that CJ wasn't ready for. Who jumped on it? No one. Looks like they got it back. Okay. All right, my man. I'll let you go. If you tuned in, we appreciate it. I'm the Parquet Poppy, my boy NBA Swing Pass right here. Follow us, the Dynasty Proud podcast right here at the bottom, and Boston Sports Entertainment Network. As always, see y'all in the next one, and go Celtics. Peace out.
Peace.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.